I've been debating posting this because I already know how it sounds. It sounds fake, like a creepy pasta. OP watched too many horror videos. Whatever. Believe me or don't, I honestly don't care anymore. I just need to tell someone because my wife refuses to even talk about it now. This happened last October while we were camping in the Ouachita National Forest. My wife Kayla and I rented one of those small pull-behind campers and drove out for a weekend to unplug for a while. No cell service, no internet, just the woods and the trails. Everything was normal the first day. We grilled burgers, hiked a little, drank a couple beers beside the fire. There were maybe 2 other campsites occupied near us, but they were far enough away that you couldn't really see them through the trees. Around midnight, the temperature dropped hard. The kind of cold where the air feels wet in your lungs. We headed inside the camper, locked up, and went to sleep. At exactly 2:05 in the morning, something knocked on the camper door. It was 2 slow, heavy knocks. I woke up immediately because it sounded wrong, like too hard, like someone was in trouble. It wasn't like someone using their knuckles, more like somebody hitting the door with a piece of wood. It made a hard thunk sound. Kayla sat up beside me and whispered, "Did you hear that?" Before I could answer, it came again. 2 knocks, same rhythm, and same hard thunk. Now, my first thought was another camper needed help. Maybe their car battery died or somebody got hurt. So I got up and looked through the little window beside the door. There was nobody there. I turned on the outside light. I still didn't see anybody. The campsite was completely empty. The fire pit, the picnic table, the trees. There was no movement at all. I remember laughing nervously and saying, "Probably a branch or something." Then there was a knock on the other side of the camper. Not the door, the wall right beside where we were sleeping. The same 2 hard thunks. Kayla grabbed my arm hard enough to hurt. The thing about campers is the walls are thin. When something hits them, you feel it more than you hear it. The entire camper shook slightly with each knock. I yelled hello. Silence. Nobody answered me. Then we heard footsteps outside. Slow crunching in the leaves. Circling us. It wasn't hurried, and it didn't sound like someone was stumbling around like a drunk person. It was just constant pacing. I grabbed the flashlight and peeked through another window towards the rear of the camper. Nothing. But the footsteps kept moving. I could hear the leaves crunching. Around and around. At this point, I was irritated more than I was scared. I figured somebody at another campsite was messing with us, so I cracked the door open and stepped outside. The woods were pitch black beyond the little circle of light from the camper. I didn't see any footsteps, and I definitely didn't see any people. There was nothing. But the smell hit me immediately. It smelled like rotten meat, like roadkill that had been baking in the sun. I covered my nose and swept a flashlight around the trees. That's when I noticed something standing about 30 yards away between the pines. At first, I honestly thought it was a person wearing a hoodie. Then the flashlight caught its eyes. They reflected bright white, not like animal eyes. They were brighter. They were almost glowing. The thing was tall and skinny. It was crouching weirdly behind a tree, with one arm wrapped around the trunk. I couldn't make out its face clearly, but I remember seeing teeth, a lot of teeth, and a huge grin, like a sadistic grin. I slammed the camper door shut so fast I nearly broke the handle. Kayla started panicking, asking what I saw, but before I could answer, the knocking started again. Only now, it was coming from the roof. Something was walking on top of our camper. The ceiling bowed slightly with each step. Slow footsteps moved from one end to the other. Then it stopped directly above us. I don't think I've ever felt fear like that before. Like real, genuine fear. The kind that makes your entire body cold. Then came a voice right above my head. All it said was, "Hey." It sounded almost human. Almost, but there was something off about it. Like someone was trying to imitate a person after only hearing human speech a few times. It said "hey" again. Then it asked if we could let it in. Kayla started crying. I grabbed the small revolver I kept in my backpack and just sat there staring at the ceiling while this thing slowly crawled around on top of us. Then it spoke again. It whispered, "Open the door, please." My blood went ice cold. Kayla heard it too because she buried her face against me and started shaking. Then I think it laughed, but it's hard to tell. But I swear to God it was a laugh. It wasn't loud, just this quiet clicking sound. Then it was just silent. Complete silence. The footsteps stopped, and I didn't hear any more movement. Just nothing. Needless to say, we stayed awake the rest of the night, clutching that revolver and waiting for sunrise. At around 6, I finally opened the camper door. The entire roof was covered in muddy handprints. I didn't see any footprints. Like something had crawled around up there on all fours. And the weirdest part, there were no tracks leading away from the camper. None. I couldn't find any. No footprints around the site at all, despite the mud everywhere. We packed our stuff up and left. Now, the reason why I'm posting this. Last night, Kayla woke me up at 2 o'clock. She asked me if I heard the knocking. I told her no. Then we both heard it. Those two familiar thunk knocks. And it was coming from our bedroom window.